Stream.
And boop, boop, boop. There, yep, we got it. All right, let's give it a little minute.
I'll see some population. People gonna be like, "What's going on?"
Notification squad. Who is
that?
Like, what's going? Like, hey, let's see. There they are. Here they come. Here we go. Let's people get in here.
What up, Trey?
What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Mr. Clean right now. I know, right? Gotta get that fresh.
They're all like, yo, what happened to the Widow Peak, Slim?
It's still there. It ain't going nowhere. Just faded. Oh, hell no. Nah. That's not no busy word piece. That's Craftmaster. What?
Yo, they tried you, son. They tried you.
Oh, hey, it's a little different today. I know the nappy fro is gone. It's gone. Man, we should hurry up and update how many people I got up in here.
What up, awkward? All right, bro. So y'all are officially watching the first episode of the Breaking Beats podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be breaking down. We're gonna be talking, talking about some current events, some studio talk, production stuff, all that good mess. Having a great time. Glad y'all coming here for the first pilot episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, but we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we trying to get the setup all nice and everything, so y'all just bear with us and just enjoy the ride. Please have fun to chat.
So the first topic of discussion that we got today, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna talk about J. Cole, the KOD album. It broke Drake's streaming record for 24-hour streams, and it's musically it's a solid project. It is something. When I heard it, my first impression of it was like, wow. I feel like the first two songs, I was like, oh, okay, Cole is like basically gonna take these trap tempos and these trap cadences and kind of break the conventional thinking that you have to rap one way, or your content has to be tailored one way to fit into these tempos. And I thought that was really cool. What was your first impression of it, Slim?
Well, my first I don't know, because I didn't it came out of nowhere for me. Like when I heard he was the album, I was like, oh shit, really? He's back with a new album? Shit, okay, let's check it out. And then I didn't really follow it too much. Like I said, I saw the single and all that. I was like, okay, dope. Got high, listened to it on fucking 420. Everybody, but yeah, my first impressions. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I like the beats, I like the flow. Some songs had me a little bit like, I was like, yeah, I'll skip this and come back to it later, maybe another day. But overall, I really enjoyed it. The single, I like the single. A lot of people didn't like the single. Which, my thing is the single was. You had to really dive into it and really listen to what he was saying. In my opinion,
it was lyrical. It was very lyrical.
I think it was basically a meme song, in my opinion. Like he was making fun of everybody who does the whole, talk about money, jewels, cars, clothes, and hoes. That thing. Yeah. He was kind of parodying them. That's why I got it right away. I like lyrical shit. I like mumble shit too. Don't get me wrong, but I like lyrical shit more. But but yeah, overall it was dope. And then the last song on the album, we all
1985.
Bye. Like once you sit on my lap, son.
I like the way that I like the way that he approached it, because it was like, first of all, as someone who's not even a J. Cole fan, that song right there, that'll probably be the only song that I listened to more than once on that project. And I like it because he didn't. I know a lot of lyricists, being a producer, right? Just being a producer, a lot of lyricists, and you get into a lot of these conversations with rappers where they all think that they're the best, and they're supposed to, and they have this amazing message that they're supposed to teach, but a lot of in that creativity and in that arrogance, they can't convey it in a way that connects. I feel like there's kids who will hear that song and will actually get what he's trying to say, because even though he's not congratulating the artists who he's referencing in that song, he's not talking down to him. You know what I
No.
mean? He didn't come off it like being like, oh, y'all pussy boys ain't gonna be, you know, like, nah. He did it in a very artful and I would say as respectful as possible. Go
Right.
ahead.
And I think that's what it boils down to. Everybody look at it like, oh man, he's just straight dissing people. Like it really wasn't a diss. It's like, look, bro, he's like Jay-Z's album. I mean, Jay-Z's album, what was it? I can't 444. Yeah. He straight gave you the business. He told
Right.
you boss moves. He taught you boss moves, how to move like a boss, how to think like a boss. You know what a boss does when he loses a lot, how he bounce back. You know, same thing with this. He's pretty much teaching these young rappers or the mumble generation, what you want to call them, it doesn't matter. He's saying like, look, bro, like I see what you're doing. You're doing good, but at the end of the day, how long you want to last in this game? Do you want to last in this game? Do you want to have longevity, or you just want to? Or you? I mean, because some people are just in it for that 15 minutes of fame, and I can't hate people who are that. You know, some people want to be a one-hit wonder, come out with a couple of smash bangers, and then dip. You know what I'm saying? Good. You know, go back to McDonald's. I don't know. You know, but at the end of the day, he trying to help a lot of people out and trying to tell them like, look, man, you know, slow your roll, think about this stuff because you got potential to possibly last longer if you play it smart.
Yeah,
know?
if you and the thing is, well, but before we go to that, is like, yo, like I feel like people, especially just this era of people who comment on music, period, like they kind of get confused over like what a diss is. Like diss is short for disrespect. A diss is
Right.
fuck your bitch and the click you claim. You know what I'm saying? A diss is use a fan, a fake, a phony, a pussy, a stand. I'll still whip your ass. You 36 in the karate class. That's a diss. You know what I mean? Somebody coming along and telling you like, yo, step your content up so you can have longer than a 5-year career. That is somebody who honestly respects you and looks at you as a peer and cares about the craft. You know what I'm saying? They care about the culture and they're trying to clue you in like, yo, bro, you could do more. It doesn't just have to be this. You know what I mean? But
That's for anything though. I mean, I can go farther than just rap, man. I can go with being a producer because, I mean, if I would come at you the same and say, look, man, you got nice beats, but you're one dimensional. Switch it up a little bit if you want to last longer and make more. I mean, yeah, you know, one style or one type of this might be prosper for you right now, but how long you think before that style is completely dead and then so they're doing something new? You got to keep evolving with the times. Same with rapping, producing, mixing, anything. You have to be able to roll with the punches and pretty much just be able to adapt to it. And I think that's what he really tried to do. Like, hey, think about what you're doing, spend your money wisely, because if it runs out or it's getting low, you got to figure out how to bounce back. And if you don't, what you're gonna do? You're gonna be in a hole, you know.
Well, yeah. To add on to that, like, okay, so for producers, it's musicality. You know, can you express yourself musically? And the producers who can do that are the ones that have the longevity. Like someone like Timbaland who could still pop in every era since the '90s and create a hit. I mean, the man's 50 years old. You know, still make a relevant song. The same thing with Jay-Z. He's extremely lyrical. He can still make a relevant song.
Right.
So that's kind of like what he's trying to tell you. Because if you think about it, and I don't understand. I don't really understand. Maybe somebody can explain this to me. I don't understand how this concept is lost. But the rappers who are lyricists, who are actually into the craft, they're the ones that, maybe not all of them, but the ones who populate like being the most successful rappers. They're all lyricists. Right. Every one of them. None of them, none of them are slack. Some of them might, downgrade their content to, to be more radio like or anything. But you take someone like Lil Pump, like you can get a lot of views on YouTube, but you can't sell out an arena. J. Cole for they've done his team and his publicity. They've done a fantastic job of keeping him in this space where he's perceived as this underground legend. But bro, he just broke Drake's streaming record. He sells out arenas. The last time that both of them were on tour together, they were both selling out arenas. The only difference was that Drake had to go get the other most popular rapper. He had to go get Future to do that. You know what I mean? And J. Cole does it on his own. So for any of you guys that are out there listening and just considering, furthering your career in music, and then maybe you want to dumb your shit down, don't do it, because the longevity is in the art. We talk about music careers. We're talking about being creators, and the creativity is going to last you past any fad.
Right, exactly. So I mean, you got to just like that's what I mean. Being different is just do you how you do it, no matter what it is. Just go for it. Like don't let no don't. I mean, I understand following trends is it's probably gonna get you some quick bucks real quick, but sometimes just don't even do that. Just like stay who you are, stay true to yourself, and you'll prosper. But it may take you a little longer, whatever. But I guarantee you, if you don't really follow trends and just do you, you'll have a longer career in whatever you want to do. That's what it is, in my opinion.
No, absolutely.
So, I mean,
So we was talking this whole idea to to get together and talk to you guys happened when Slim popped in the stream, and he was going back and forth. He was going back and forth with my dog Gasoline Greg. Shout out to Gasoline Greg.
Yeah, shout out to him too, man. It's good. A good convo, man.
Yeah.
By the way, very good convo.
Yeah, it was funny because I was reading y'all go back and forth. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like these two guys, they probably agree more than they disagree right now. I think you guys were actually agreeing, but you was just like talking about two different things. So right. The conversation was interesting. I wanted to get more into it. We was talking about the difference between a home studio setup and a pro studio setup, and how each thing has their place. So the one thing that Greg said is he was like, yo, I could do so much with a Rode NTA and in this Apollo. And I like the way you came back because he was like, I don't need no TLM 103, and then you was like, yeah, but who manufactures the TLM 103?
Exactly. He was like, I remember that. He's like, he said, you remember though, Drake made that one that whole song that whole album in a hotel with an M box and a TLM 103. But I was like, you know what? But who makes the 103 though?
Right.
Neumann, and Neumann are known for the industry standard microphone, the U87. I mean, no matter what studio you go to, that's a real legit studio. They will have a U87, and there's a reason why, because it has that. For one, has that Neumann name. The name alone, is a badge. It's a badge of honor. It's like Boy Scouts. But and also it has a sound. But yeah, you're right. You don't need a $3,000 microphone and a $800 interface to make a hit song. You don't. I believe that. But at the same time, if you want to take yourself to another level and really do it as a business, you gotta make compromise somewhere. Like I said, because the studio I work in, like I said, we got everything. I work in two different studios. One studio, we got everything. I mean, all the outboard gear you need. Whatever. I go over there on call when they need me. They be like, hey, we got a mix today. We need you to come in, run the board, to do the mix, run the board, engineer. Cool. The other studio, I pretty much you got Apollos and stuff like that. But either way it go, it's Apollos. We got Neumanns. We got all these compressors. Because it's a business. You know what I'm saying? And when you bringing people in, the first thing I do and walk in, be like, what microphone you got? What software you on? If you don't say you got Pro Tools, you don't say you got at least a Neumann, you're losing business. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the expectation of the gear, even though you don't really need it.
Well, absolutely, and to walk that back. So I've always been the type of person that I used to think like that. It's like yo, like right. I was the type of person who was like, I don't need a preamp, and this was back before when we were recording in the DigiDesign M box. It looked like a sail. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
the little piece of shit that you turn the
white ass shit.
Yeah. I still have it because it's a classic. But but the point is, I grew up thinking that I could do it like that, and what wound up happening was I was freaking it, with Cubase and the stock plugins, and I knew how to master before there was YouTube tutorials and people didn't know how to raise their volume to the correct RMS and stuff like that. I was and I would go around and pass my music out, at the underground shows and shit like that, and they would be all like, yo, who mixed this? What studio you go to? I'm like, that's me in the closet, at the townhouse, bro. So I wound up getting an opportunity from one of the biggest hitters, and they was like, yo, they had the Pro Tools HD rig and the classic setup. They had the print shop where they was printing everybody's flyers. They was wrapping everybody's vehicles, and this is in Miami, Florida. So when you come down, so like when the record labels would come down and need their wraps, they would go to their place to get it, and then they would politic the wraps into getting the artist in the studio, whatever. So long story short, I'm trying to meet Kevin Gates when Luca Brasi dropped, and I was just like, yo, I need to get this man my beats, you know what I mean? And I see that he's doing a show. It was before he got big. The show was gonna be for 12 people. I knew it, and I was like, yo, I'll go to that show. I know I'll be able to meet him and give him the jump drive. So I'm standing outside the venue waiting for the meet and greet to start. My boy calls me up who in the studio. He's like, yo, Bez, what are you doing? I'm like, yo, I'm standing outside of, the club waiting for this meet and greet to start. He's like, bro, I got him coming to the studio. Come and run the session. Okay. If I took the stance of, you know what, all I need is Cubase. I don't need to know Pro Tools, and I don't need to know how to run an Avalon 737. I don't need to know how to run a real compressor, and I don't need to understand the signal flow, and I don't need to know the difference between mics because I could do everything on one mic.
Right.
I would have been ass out. I would have embarrassed myself because Gates got to the studio. He had 3 features to do. Sat there, wrote every verse. You know what I mean? Like right there, boom, boom, boom on the spot. If I was slow and I didn't know what to do, I wouldn't have been able to go ahead and record his verses, and in between that have the conversation, and then be like, yo, I also have this music. You got a second? You want to come check it out? And then play him the music. You know what I mean? I would have just been, I just would have been the annoying person in the studio who couldn't record his vocals right. We wound up having to switch his mic out because he didn't like the way the AKG sounded. If I didn't go and have the experience of recording on those 2 different mics and then being like, you got a bass of your tone, let's put this on. So that's the kind of stuff that you don't think about, because you think about, or people have a tendency to think about themselves and their own career and their own music. But
exactly. That's how it was.
But what people don't realize is that if you want to go anywhere with music, it's not so much the understanding of the gear, it's the relationships, right? And the people who have the relationships with the people that you want to get close to, they're gear nerds, they're studio people. They take the shit professional. They invest thousands of dollars, and you don't get into their level, going into their facility and being like, I can do this all at home. I just want to record through the Avalon and I'll mix it myself.
And I think that's the mindset of a lot of people nowadays, like I say, because now, like you see Metro Boomin. You see all these. I'm just gonna use Metro Boomin because that's everybody knows him. We all know Metro Boomin. I hope so, chat. But yeah, Metro Boomin, laptop all day long, banging out bangers for big producers all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Making killers. So your mindset is like, oh, Shaw needs a copy of Nexus, crack version of FL Studio, whatever, blah blah blah. I can make hits too. But then as soon as you walk up to that studio and they be like, hey bro, I need you to record this. What you gonna do? You're gonna be like, what's this? Pro Tools? What FL at FL? You walk into a pro studio and ask for FL, but they gonna look at you like you damn stupid. So yeah, I mean it's one thing to think you can. I mean, if I know, like me personally, I had an old Focusrite interface. I got the old. Still got the AKG, the old one. It's a new one, but I got an old one still. I was making great recordings. People coming over, recording them great, all that. Yeah, I can do that all day, good stuff. But at the end of the day, it boils down to you need to know this stuff. Even if you're never going to use it or not use it all the time, you need to at least know it or understand it, especially like Pro Tools, because I say you're going to see Pro Tools your whole life, whether you like it or not. Because Pro Tools, in my opinion, I don't like it.
I hate Pro Tools. I hate Pro Tools.
I think it's one of the... They are so far behind all these new DAW. It's crazy. They don't want to get it with the times. But guess what? It's been making hits for decades. Like since it was Sound Tools. I know that when it first came out, it was called Sound Tools. The first DAW, it was garbage. Like,
bro, I know a studio in Miami that still records on fucking Pro Tools 6. And rips it. Real quick. I got a question from Alberto because I told how I got into the studio. He wanted to know how you got a studio job.
How I got a studio job?
Yeah.
Word of mouth. Like, okay, my first one. My dad knew a guy who he's a promoter in Atlanta. He's a club promoter in Atlanta, and he just started a studio down in Atlanta. So he was like, "Oh, let me hear you saying. I'm up there talking to my dad. So yeah, I know him. You know him. Let me hear some of your music. So I pulled up my phone. Went to my not my YouTube, but my goddamn website. Had the website. But he said, "Hey, she said, you know how to use Pro Tools." I looked at him like, "Oh yeah." I mean, I haven't used Pro Tools since Pro Tools. I want to say 7, because when they still use the inboxes. when they still, but like the last right before they went to Pro Tools 8, when they stopped, when they went like open source or whatever.
Eight's when they opened up the interface.
Yeah, but that's when I started. So I was like, yeah, but I mean, it was muscle memory, so I got it. So then he's like, well, shit, he said, we get time next weekend, why don't you come to Atlanta, run a session for me. My dude who used to run my session quit on me. He said, if you know how to do it, man, I'll pay you on the spot and all that gas and all that. I said, shit, why not? Went down there, got up in there, was like, shit, okay, it was Pro Tools. I said, shit, I'll try it, did it, got it good. I had to mix it like that. I just had to run the session, record them and everything like that. We were Gucci. After they say, hey, you want a job? All right, shit. He said, well, shit, if I need you to come down here, man, you come down and do stuff. So every other weekend, I go down there and do that. And then my other studio job, this is gonna be crazy. My sister's husband. Sister. Yeah, I got a half sister. My half sister, but he started his own studio, and she was like, yeah, Dee, that's my sister's. Her brother, he does studio stuff and all that. So hit him up. So they hit me up on Instagram like, hey, bro, I got all this equipment. I don't know how to set it up. Can you help me out? I'll pay you. I said, oh, shit, I'm just gonna go down and set some equipment up. Bet. I'm about to make this quick money real quick. Go down this, plug this into the computer type shit. Got there. It was 2 Apollos, 2 Norman microphones, MPC-X, a couple of compressors. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, oh, god damn, this is some real shit. So I, to the whole day, set it up, all that, and then he was like, hey, bro, I need somebody to run this shit. I don't know how to run this. I just bought it, because I want to rap, but I got people want to record too. Say, hey, bro, you come record it. I will pay you every time you come down here. So I go down there during the week. He's out of town until Thursday, but I go down there week. I make between $100 and $200 a day working with him, recording him and his homeboys. So I'm like, he said, I'm either in Atlanta or I'm over there or I'm in here. So it's just pretty much word of mouth and keeping up doing the YouTube, and put my work out there. That's one thing a lot of you guys gotta do. You got to put your work out there if it's good or bad, and get the criticism, get the people telling you, hey, you need to work on this, and work on it, learn, read, watch videos, practice, mix, make beats, because eventually your time's gonna come with somebody be like, hey, bro, I see you doing music. Do you know how to do this? If you do, I'll pay you for it. And what you're gonna say, like, nah, I'm not that good. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's do it for you.
Yeah, because the one thing is you can, and this is something I've been telling everybody, like you can go and you can create in the crib. I mean, I have an amazing home studio. I'm not even gonna front. I put a lot of money into it. It's my favorite place to be, but you gotta get out of the house. I mean, like real talk. My next play is to start buying 12-hour blocks down at Circle House and just start cooking up with the door open. That because that's where everybody comes. You know what I mean? Just rent out the B room, and that's something that I would advise to you guys. If I was looking for a studio job and I didn't know anybody, right, and in my town, what I would do is I would call up the most popular studio, and I would see how much the sessions were for the B room, and what I would do is I'd be like, how much is the session for the B room? They're gonna give you a price with or without an engineer. Get a price without an engineer and go in there and start working. If you go if you go in there and you're working on your own stuff and you're good, they're gonna be like, yo, what are you working on? What do you do? And then that's where you get to say, I would really like to work at the studio. And then they'll be like, well, you know what? The piece of shit who was working here before is always drunk. You know what I mean? He offended my last 2 artists. Do you think you could run a session for me? That's how it happens. There's no application. There's no degree that you're gonna get from from Full Sail. I mean, going to the school that will plug you into the community.
Right. True. Yeah. But definitely get contacts.
Yeah, it'll get you a head start as far as that. But the thing is, this music game is for hustlers. It's for people who could go out and talk and sell themselves. You can't be a person who thinks that you're just gonna create art, make a goddamn cover, and then somebody is just gonna be like, you know what, I would be honored for you to just sit at my captain's seat that I've built this facility. It costs $70,000, but if your broke ass would just come in here with all of your amazing talent that God has bestowed upon you, you'd make my life better. That's not how it works, man. When you bust your ass because the thing is, studio people are self-made. I think that's where the disconnect comes in from the talent,
Right,
and
right.
the technicians is studio people are self-made. They're their own boss. They get it how they live. They got they got their wife breathing down their neck at all times, like because you don't know how it's gonna go month for month. It's like selling beats, man.
Exactly. Somebody said they've been produced for 34 years and they always learn stuff. That's why I say that you can never learn too much. Like, I don't know. I've been produced for 10 years and I won't think I'm the best or good until I did it for at least 40. Until I did that long, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, at least put at least a dub on it.
Yeah, never think you know too much. Never think you know too much or that you're there. Because you can always up yourself. You always one up yourself and always go to the next level, no matter where you are, how long you've been doing it, what you learn on. If you're starting now, I mean, shit, it don't matter. Like, you can always get better. So yeah, I mean, you have to, if you want to do this as a career, and you want to be able to make a living off of it, you gotta just put in the work. Like, it doesn't. It's no get rich quick scheme. I can't even do that. Really, my stuttering, man. I'm sorry, man. My speech impediment. Y'all, bear with me. But yeah, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This is, it takes time. It just does. Like I said, I didn't really get my break until, this year. Really, like, honestly, last year was the year I was able to quit my job. And I've been doing it for forever. Since I was 16 years old. And I'm 27, going 28 now. So I'm just now getting into it, honestly, really. So yeah. For some it's quicker, for some it's longer. It don't really matter. The thing is, your time is coming. When God blesses you with it, you better be ready to take it, because you won't get another opportunity if you mess it, you screw it up.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
So, but for working at home, there's definitely a trap that people could fall into. And it's like
the gear trap.
It's the gear trap, man. And here's how the gear trap works, man. Here's how the gear trap works. So you sell a couple beats, what I mean, and you start getting money. And then you're like, you make your LLC and you're like, yo, let me reinvest this or something. And maybe someone in your family or somebody and respect is like, hey, if you invest into your LLC, you can write that off on your taxes. So you got to spend some money so you don't get taxed on it, right? Okay, and that's how you wind up. That's how you wind up spending all your profits on gear. I think
first I had done that.
There's a few different gear traps. The first one I want to touch on is the one I see with everybody, and they come at me like this. They're like, "Yo, let's do it with an interface, right? Yo, what's the best interface to start on?" And they'll send me links to like 4 different $80 interfaces. And I think the first thing that I learned when I started buying shit was your signal flow. All right, your monitors, your microphones, your cables, and your interface. Those are the things you don't slack on. You don't buy starter pieces for that shit. Because you have to think about this in terms of a career, and that's why we talked about the studio first. When somebody builds a $70,000 facility and they get a $3,000 compressor, that $3,000 compressor is with them for 40 years, right? So anything that you buy that is physical needs to be at you got to max out your standard, right?
Exactly. But then also, with that being said, I like what you said right there. Also, but you have to know. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but you got to know diminishing return. Like, when you get to that point to where you spend so much money that it don't make sense.
Yes.
So you got to know.
Yes, good point.
A good balance, and that's what I think. A lot of people have a hard time with that, knowing, when is it too much to spend and when is it not enough to spend? Because it's always, because we gotta understand, music has changed so much, gear has changed so damn fast. Now I remember back in the day, you had to buy a Pro Tools HD unit to get good audio.
Yep,
I remember that. If you want to radio ready stuff, you had to be on Pro Tools HD all day long. It had to. But now you can buy, like I said, the 2i2, which, you know, not shitting on that. Great interface. And you can make something that can be heard on, you know, YouTube, SoundCloud, even the radio, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you want to turn to a business, you got to spend a little extra money. But and the gear does matter. The price does mean something. That's the one thing you got to understand. Like when you spend the money on something, you know, you're buying it for a reason, not because, oh, I want it because, you know, everybody uses it. There's a reason why everybody's spending that much amount of money for that. Like the Apollo, for example, the Apollo 20. Since you say interfaces, I got an old Focusrite still right here. I still use it because, let's say, bullshit with Windows and the Thunderbolt drivers don't work right, so I have to send audio from the end of that just to run OBS and shit. So yeah, got a video come out there. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that Focusrite interface, I bought it the day it came out in 2010. In 2010, that Focusrite interface, and I just upgraded 2 weeks ago. So, you know, you don't, you know, but at the same time, as soon as I bought it though, I mean, my ears opened up. I was able to hear stuff clearer.
Yep. The
signal flow was a lot better. My mic was a lot cleaner. Even my old microphone, if I bought this one, sounded so much better because the preamps, the A to D converters, you know, the connection, everything. So, you know, there's a point.
Sticking with the interface to avoid. All right, so to avoid the interface gear trap, right?
Which is easy to fall into.
Yeah, if you're recording at home right now, I'll tell all you guys, do what you got to do to get either an Apollo or a PreSonus mobile studio. One of those two interfaces. You got to get one of those two. And honestly, I would recommend the Apollo. The only reason why I didn't get the Apollo is because I know myself, and if I got the Apollo, I would spend all of my money on the plugins. So
and I'm trying to hold back right now because goddamn, they keep sending me fucking. They send you, boy. They are UAD or ruthless when it comes to these plugins. They will send you so many coupon codes. Hey, bro, hey, we got a special going on today. Only for the day only. You wanna buy this right here? Just, you know, it's like, bro, come on, I ain't got no money right now.
But that's the thing for all y'all boys living the pirate life still. Like you don't understand. You just all you gotta do is fuck with the company once. Just buy that one thing at full price. The rest of the stuff you're gonna get at 50-60% off. You'll never pay full price more than once again. I ain't
gonna lie to you, I wasn't even gonna buy the Apollo at first. The only reason I bought the Apollo is because they got a special going on right now till June 3rd, where you get 3 free plugins. You get auto tune, you get auto tune, a manly preamp, and then some reverb. I saw auto tune, I said fuck it. I mean, that's already worth it. Shit.
Yo, and just to back you up, the hardware version of that manly is $6,000. That's a for show preamp, dude. And
you get a. Yeah, so I'm saying, I mean, that's the only reason I bought it. If they ain't had that sale, I'd still be rocking my old stuff. But it was time for me to upgrade, and I wanted to take my stuff to the next level. You know, personally, for one, when I do my music, when I start rapping it, like I'm getting back to the game, hopefully. I'm just lazy right now. But even when I have people come over, I want to, you know, be able to give them, you know, not only do I want to get them better quality, but I want to charge more too. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. When it's a business, when you look at it from a business standpoint, you gotta make sure it makes sense. Personal standpoint, you gotta be like, do I really need this? Like, do I need to buy this, or can I still, you know? Because I mean, my thing is, it don't matter what you buy, interface, microphone, whatever. If you can't mix, if you don't understand gain staging, if you don't understand the basic fundamentals, you can spend all the money you want, but your shit still gonna sound like it came from a trash can.
Well, that's see, that's the thing about the gear trap, right? Is there's a misconception. Well, it's not a misconception. It's the perception is if you have all right, so I would sound better if I had Omnisphere. I would, I would sound better if if I had this plugin and that plugin. And see, there's a difference between the hardware world and the software world. The software world, plugins don't really make anything sound better, and that's
just utility.
Yeah, that's the one thing people don't understand, and that's like when people come to me to mix their beats and stuff like that. I tell them, I'm like, listen, bro, like, I'm gonna take your stems and I'm gonna make it sound, so that you can hear everything and so that there's space. It's not going to change your beat. You know what I mean? Like all the sounds that you pick, those are going to be the same. I'm just going to give them some space. So that goes on with what you're saying about, because I find what happens is people buy the necessary tools to start producing or creating music, and then they go on YouTube and they try to find tutorials, and you come across like Dave Pensado, right? Pensado's place.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that's the best worst show, right? Because
he get good tips, but goddamn it, some of them it's like you gotta know what you're doing.
You have to know what you're doing.
You can't just be like, hey, oh, he boosted this, because he won't tell you why he did. He be like, look what I did today. I boosted this. See how that sounds? Yeah, it's like, but why did you? What? Why? I mean,
I remember
people are like, shit, I'm gonna go to my studio, record to their garbage mic and interface, and be like, this sounds like the trash.
No. I remember the one that got me was how to get your kick to thump. I was looking at tutorials on how to get your kick to thump, and he showed this method of using a DBX 160 through a pull tech, and it was gonna have you get your kick to thump. And but here at this point, I'm just mixing off my ear. I don't have formal training. I had no idea about gain staging. I didn't know that if I really wanted my kick to thump, I needed to make it the primary focus of the mix and not have anything louder than that. That's how you get a kick to thump. The thing,
mix it last. Mix the kick last.
Yeah, the thing that guys like Dave Pensado are teaching you, they're teaching you these advanced tactics that work amazing when you have the fundamentals mastered. You know what I mean? Like I find it, like, if you look on anybody's YouTube channel, anybody who teaches mixing tutorials, you'll find that you go at their first videos, there's not a video about gain staging. Those gain staging videos, they didn't come out until 2 years into their channel, because everybody realized, oh my God, people are getting into mixing and they don't even know gain staging, because to us it's afterthought. It's something that we already do.
And we all start there. Like, you don't know everything when it come out the bat. So yeah, you got to learn these things. It's hard to find information about all the fundamentals out there. Like I said, unless you go to school, which then you're just spending the ass of money, trying to go to school and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah. So I definitely agree with that. Even some of my tutorials, I have to kind of watch what I do with some of my videos, because I feel like, some of the tutorials that I do, I feel like I go way too advanced. I'm thinking, damn. I mean, I got to think of the people who don't really know about this first, and then make something about that first, and then probably work on this creative tutorial type thing.
Yeah.
So,
no, you're a nice guy. I don't do that. I just go. I just go.
If you don't know what you're talking about, then shit, you shouldn't be mixing.
I just go.
That's what it is, So yeah, if somebody says it's useless to purchase expensive gear if you don't know what. Yeah, exactly. Cause and another thing about analog gear, that's why people get all crazy about it, because analog gear, I ain't gonna lie to you, will hold your hand. Like, people don't understand that analog gear is very forgiving. Very like you said, how digital EQs don't color shit, digital plugins don't color nothing. They really don't, unless it's designed to have a little distortion or whatever they call it in the background. Which,
they put some hiss on the back of it.
Bullshit. Put some white noise under it, so it's like, oh yeah, so you got the analog feel to it, because analog gear is kind of noisy, but still, it's not. It's analog sound. It's pleasing though. But yeah, a lot of analog gear, you can do a dB or two, a boost and cut, or reduction, and it sounds big as fucking amazing, because it's sound going through physical components. It's not a computer going 101010 equals loud. You know what I'm saying? So it's a physical change in voltage.
Exactly is what it all comes down to. Like, it's the definition of power.
Exactly, and that's why people get, they want all the expensive gear, because it sounds better, because it's a little, there's a reason why it costs $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for one EQ or one compressor, because you don't have to really, if you know what you're doing, you don't really have to do nothing to it, and it sounds good automatically. Because just throwing audio through, like, I can go to the studio and just throw audio through the gear, it automatically sound different.
Yeah,
it just sound different. But plugins, you got to work for it, so you got to really learn the basics of plugins, or not even plugins, just the basic concepts of EQ, compression, stuff like that. And hell, you don't really need all that stuff. You'll be good to go. But
yeah, I mean, I know like that studio I was talking about before, it's a HD rig that runs off of like a C24. It's just a Mac tower, and a Pro Tools rig. And I know people that'll go customers that'll go, get a 10-hour block over there just because, they like the fact that, they can smoke weed in the booth and it's, and it's kind of hood. And then they'll take that session and then they'll run it over to Mix Masters or they'll run over to Circle House just to run the stems through the SSL, just to do that.
Because it gives a bigger sound. The SSL has a sound, needs SSL, APIs, they all have a sound, and that's true. But I mean, you pay for that sound. But do you need that at the end of the day? That's the thing about it. Do you need it?
Yeah. No,
that's you, like, you don't. You really don't.
The thing about figuring out what you need and what you want is just staying. For me, the way that I did it was just staying consistent in my creation. Once I've always been the type of person, like ever since I started making beats seriously, I got to do at least 2 a day. That's just that's my workflow. I don't recommend I don't recommend that for everybody because everybody has a different way of making the air move, and it's it's a spiritual thing. So you do what you do. I don't think that everybody needs to do that, but the way that I was able to, figure out what plugins I need, because all my shit's legit, and in my plugins, I have stuff that I do not use, stuff that I bought that I don't use. The thing, like for example, Omnisphere, right? I paid $500 for Omnisphere. I paid $400 for Keyscape. I'll be goddamn if I'm not going to use that on every song. that is $900 worth of sounds. I'm using it on every song. And because I made the investment and I'm stubborn like that, it's taught me to learn that synth inside and out. Right. Whereas the synths that I've bought, like Silence, which I don't even use anymore, or Electra, and Dune, which I completely forgot that I have. Those synths were like $150. So it's like, maybe
everybody using it. They got packs for it out there. Shit,
yeah. What up, banger?
And I feel you own that one right there because, like I said, I'm the same way. Like I bought Omnisphere, which God knows I don't know how much they use it, and I use the Arturia stuff more than that, and they gave it to me for free.
Yeah, you got that for free, you dirty bastard.
Yeah, they sponsored me. Which, hey, want to do a review on it? I said, hey, shit, why not? And I was thinking, like, I'm not gonna use this shit. I got Omnisphere and all this shit. I don't need this. Like, I'm gonna do it, and I got it. I was like, damn, okay, I like this shit because it's easy. But yeah, even there is some plug. Like I said, I bought the when I bought the subscription based shit, I had the Slate Digital bundle shit. I don't use none of that shit. I got the subscription. I don't even use. I might use Repeater because I love that delay. It's a dope, easy delay. And then I might use Verb Suite, but everything else I haven't touched since. And I've used the Fat Filter stuff more than anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's
I think another thing that people get into is they believe that every beat needs to have a different sound, a different air, and a different ambiance and stuff like that. And you gotta kind of get into a space where you got to figure out like what am I doing this for? Why does every beat need to have different sounds? Exactly. like is it, if your answer, because I answer this question a lot, if your answer is, well, won't it become repetitive? And my question to you is, repetitive to who?
If it ain't repetitive to you, then it doesn't matter. I mean,
who are all these people who are listening to your beats?
Oh, them random million views they're getting. I know, because I ain't getting them.
Yeah, where they at though? Give them my SoundCloud page.
I know, bro. Shit, hit me up. But yeah, I mean, and that's what thing. I did get to a point where, like I said, I got to a point where I needed to buy. I bought Omnisphere because I was using the same damn sounds like in every fucking beat, and I got caught out on it. And I still was like, fuck, I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna put some reverb, maybe tweak the delay a little bit. Shit, they don't know.
But who you got called out by?
Yeah, some haters.
Yeah, did you get called? Did you get called out by your paying customers?
Oh hell no.
No, they bought the damn beats. They bought the beats.
Back to that with about the studios. I remember you asked me a question. You were like, so on your stream, you were like, so you be going there. I said, when I go to the other studio, I don't even touch the analog gear half the time. Because they don't know. Like, you're paying, like, average people don't know.
You gotta stop.
I mean, hey,
you gotta stop with that. No, but that's facts. Seriously, that's facts.
Exactly. Average people don't know half the shit. Like, okay, you got all this shit, but the person who buying your beats is gonna be like, shit, did your 808 hit? Does the 808 hit? Can I hear the 808? Can I hear it on my cell phone in the car? I'm good.
Yeah.
The beat straight. You know, they don't care about, oh man, I got Omnisphere, Keyscape, I got this reverb, this delay, I got this play, I got this software. Like, bro, your beat sound good? Shit, I'm by. You know, can I rap over it? You know, I don't really. I mean, you gotta think about it like that too. Like when you buy stuff, you gotta think about, you know, who you. If you're like you said, when you're buying it, who are you buying it for, and why are you buying it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the reason you're buying it? Like, why are you buying Omnisphere? Why are you buying this? Why are you buying that? Is there a reason behind it? Like, do your beats suck that bad? You think Omnisphere gonna make it sound better? God, no, you just suck at beats. You need to learn. Like, I mean, people turn Nexus into like a god plugin for a long time.
And it's trash.
She had the weakest sounds I ever heard.
Trash, bro.
I mean, shit,
trash sounds.
Fucking trans gates and shit.
Like, but bro, we gonna bring back trans gates. We gonna listen. We gonna produce your album, and it's gonna be all trans gates like it's 2006.
No 808s,
trans gates and sub bass.
And a snap.
That's the title. Yo, Gasoline Greg said, at the end of the day, consumers cannot hear what the creators can't hear. Therefore, the process we use is only to impress other creators. Yo, and that is factual. And I think that's that's the thing about the producer community, is that y'all care too much about each other, bro. Like this, like it does not matter. You have to make, like, if you're a producer, you're producing for rappers, and you're producing for their fans. Those are the people who you care about. Most rappers, they don't give a shit how if your hi-hat triplet rolls changes on every beat.
Exactly. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They don't care if you made every sound from scratch. They don't give a, I mean, fuck. Like, you get, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you're purposely making beats to impress other producers or teach other producers strictly and not go for placements, you shouldn't care what other producers say about your beats. Like, people say my beats suck every day. All I gotta do is show my wallet, but I don't do that. I don't flash money. But I can be like, I'm making money out selling my beats in the studio and recording people, so I don't really care what you think. I mean, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, you do what you do. You do what you do. You do what you do. Like I said, you make the beats the way you want to, and if nobody likes them, nobody likes them. You know, you should be your biggest critic at the end of the day.
Yeah, because the way a producer is gonna judge you, and this is what will mess you up with placing beats for artists. I know, because this is what messed me up when I first got into the studio and I actually started meeting people, and it would piss me off. I would have these beats that I thought were amazing. I thought they were amazing. This was like when this is when Justice League was really hitting, and you know, and I had because I've always been into fusing different things, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna take like these Justice League type of vibes, but I'm just gonna completely throw distorted 808s over them instead of those fancy rolling drums and stuff like that. Right. Now I would have these chord progressions with different bridges, and I'm talking about 5 chord progressions and shit like that, and I couldn't get any of those beats off. People would say that they were like too musical, but the people that I was playing my beats for were producers, and they were studio nerds. And the thing is, when you're trying to someone who creates music, they're going to be impressed by complexity and difficulty. You know what I'm saying? That's why people hear, like, you know people hear like the new J. Cole album and be like, I don't really like the beats that much. Producers will feel that way. Or when everybody was criticizing Kendrick's Damn record, you know, right? And they were like, oh, the beats are trash. It's like, okay, bro, those beats slap. I just heard Kendrick on and King of Diamonds, bro. Like, your beats suck, bro. Like, seriously, they were playing Humble in the strip club of Florida. Like, but if you go from the perspective of, I'm going to make something that's technically difficult and I'm going to challenge myself on a difficulty tier, you're gonna make stuff that doesn't connect with rappers, because rappers are looking for vibe. When a rapper listens to a beat, they're listening. Listen to me, seriously, pay attention to this part. When a rapper listens to a beat, they're listening for the relationship between the kick, the hi-hat, and the snare, because that's how a rapper constructs a flow. The beat goes boom, cap, and then the way that he's gonna decide how to structure the rhythm of his words is gonna be if your hi-hat goes or if it's that's what they do. So if you're one of these people who's creating these crazy hi-hats for no goddamn reason, you're gonna have a harder time selling your beats. Listen to, just listen to the songs that are in the Hot 100. All the hi-hats are straight hi-hats with a couple 16-note rolls.
And big ass 808s. That's it. It's simple, like 2 melodies. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And one for the hook, one for the verse. And that's how it is. Like less is more, simplicity is key when it comes to making beats for artists. And that's facts. Like,
yeah, Alberto in the chat just brought up a great point. Look at Nice for What. Listen to that hi-hat. That beat is simple sauce. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't break down the sample. They didn't put a bunch of accompanying melodies. They took something that was famous, that was recognizable, put some bounce drums underneath it, and now producers hear it and they criticize it. They're like, oh, they didn't flip the sample right. They could have did this, they could have did that. They could have done a lot of things, but you know what they did? They went number one. That's what they did.
That's all that matters. Like, that's all that matters in the day. Let's say, as long as if the artist likes the beat, guess what? It's a good beat. That's how I feel. If an artist wants to come to you and be like, hey, bro, I like that beat. What's the exclusives? I don't care if it's a simple drum pattern, the basic drum pattern, snare and all that. If the artist come to and say, I want it, that's good. Don't worry about what the producers say. I ain't saying fuck other producers because, I love my community.
Nah, yeah, you get inspiration from each other.
But sometimes they need to take their opinion and shove it and keep it to themselves because it don't really matter. So as long as you're doing good. But don't get to the fact people like, oh man, I gotta make my beats better and more complex because such and such he does it and he says it. I need to do it. And they, don't worry about that, man. You gotta learn to stand up for yourself in a lot of ways when it comes to you gotta be proud of what you do, regardless if it's simple or complex or whatever. That's why I think a lot of people not proud of what they do.
Well, that's the number one thing. I listen to I listen to a lot of people might miss this, but I don't listen to it anymore, but I remember like Swizz Beatz old catalog. The stuff he did for the Lox first album and Eve's album when they were in their run in the late 90s. And dude, those beats were so garbage, but people ate them up. And I've always thought, like, how did he get so many placements off with these simple ass beats? And then an interview came up just recently and they were talking about how when Swizz is in the studio, he's like a car salesman. He turns something up, he starts singing the hook, he's dancing to the shit. You know what I mean? He sells you on the vibe of the music because he has such an infectious vibe. He shares that through his music, and it's like and you get a personal connection through him. What Slim is saying, without having the confidence in yourself, you walk into a room, right? Because your first experience is going to go like this. You're going to walk into a room. You're not going to be the only producer there. You're going to hear some music and you're going to be like, oh my God, I don't deserve to be here. How did I end up here? But you got to remember, you're there. You do deserve to be there. Exactly. You know what I mean? And so when you throw your shit on, you can't sit there like this. You can't. You gotta have some ideas, and it's gonna be intimidating because you might be next to your favorite rapper in the city that you've been wanting to work with, and you're just waiting for his approval, and that's what y'all boys gotta cut out. Is you gotta stop with the whole waiting for approval. We live in a culture, especially with the smartphones and YouTube and Instagram, where we put something out and we just want to get the like, you know what I'm saying? We just want to get the positive comment. We just want to get the positive feedback. You got to be secure enough within your spirit to know that you're dope. Like this is the shit that Kanye tried to tell you all about on Yeezus when he was telling you that he was a god. He was trying to tell y'all that, like, yo, like, this is, you have to feel this way, because once you feel this way,
right,
other people are gonna feel the way about your music. If you just stand in the corner of the room and turn it on, they're gonna be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's straight. I like it. Yeah, nothing but next. But yeah, you gotta do that. And somebody said, that's why I don't send beats in for critique at the end of the day, because it doesn't matter. You're right. It don't matter if I don't really like doing beat reviews. I'll do them for you guys because you guys want them.
Dude, I hate beat reviews, bro.
But I don't like doing it because for one, I gotta sit here for I don't know how many hours listening to y'all music, crazy mixes going in my head, beating my eardrums down, knocking my skull sideways. But two, it's like I can tell you guys what to fix and what it, but it doesn't matter in the day, because I told one guy was on there, You know, I told him, hey, you need to fix this, and it'll sell. You know, he didn't do it, and guess what? He still sold the beat. So what does it matter what I say? That's how I felt. That's my opinion. Like you're asking a producer opinion, so it doesn't matter. You know, I like doing them because y'all like watching them, but in the day, it doesn't matter what anybody tell you. Let's say people tell my beats suck every day, but I still sell them out there and still put them out there. You know what I'm saying? I made a whack ass beat that I thought wasn't gonna sell. Send it to a TV company, and they're gonna use it for a commercial. And you know, I mean, it doesn't matter.
But those commercials do have whack fucking beats.
Oh, I mean,
so you were good right there.
They got a criteria that you have to follow too, and you're like, you reading, you're like, what the fuck, man?
I'm teasing you.
Like, I mean, you true, but they want the basic of basic,
yeah,
and everything. Like it got to be like this for 30 seconds. Like
they want the gentrified version.
Yeah, but you got to do it. But at the end of the day, when you see that check, like I haven't got the check yet because it's every quarterly.
Right.
Once I get the check, you know, it's gonna be a nice little check. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be, you know, so sometimes you gotta just whatever. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing about feedback. I remember I developed this before I started my channel. I was watching tutorials too, trying to get good like y'all, because I came from hardware and I'm trying to figure out the whole software thing. And I sent my beats in for a site that had beat reviews, and you know, I knew my beats was better than everybody else who was on that site because I was advanced. I was just trying to bridge the software, and I set the beat in not really to learn anything, but just to kind of shit on everybody because I'm competitive and cocky like that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. You got you know, like your own shit.
And so so Buddy heard my beat and he was like, yo, like you use some acoustic drum sounds in this beat. But it's an 808 based beat. When you make 808 based music, you should only use digital drum sounds. And I was like, man, you know, what? I was like, but at the time I was like, you know what, you know, this is a new era. You know, I was trying to do something avant-garde, and I was like, you know what, I was just getting into like really mastering how to make trap. I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do that, bro. 3 months later, Travis Scott really starts hitting with like the Days Before Rodeo and stuff like that, right. And they're dropping those tutorials. And he's just like, yeah, you know, Travis Scott, incredible producer. He's actually brilliant because he's merging these acoustic sounds with 808 bass drums. And I was like, bitch, if you don't, oh my god, bro, yeah. Like, are you serious, bro? So when I do it, it's breaking the law, you know what I mean? But your boy Travis Scott does it, and now all of a sudden it's crazy and creative. And what that taught me is, and I've had many instances like this, is artistically, always go with your gut, man. That's why I'll listen to you guys' music, but I don't have a set beat review because you know, I'm in my 30s. I might hear something that a 19-year-old does, and it might not fit my sonic palette because my teenage years are over. So I've already discovered what I like, what's my taste. You know, you might be developing something new that could be pushing the genre forward, and I tell you, you know what, that's not technically correct to my taste, so I don't like it. And then because you respect me, because I've broken down the technology barrier for you and allowed you to create your own art, so we have this connection, and then you take my advice better than maybe you would take someone else, I might stifle your creativity. You know, it might be a vibe that you're just figuring out. And if I come out the way, you know, because I talk crazy, and I tell you, you know, if I tell you the shit's garbage, you know, because I'm in a bad mood or something, and then you don't do it anymore. I could have robbed hip hop from the next wave just by me being an asshole.
I think there's nothing with me too. My beat reviews, like I'm always telling people, like, even though it's not mixed right, or it might be, you know, distorted or something. Sometimes I mostly listen to people beats now when I do beat reviews for the vibe. If I can nod my head and bounce to it, hey, I like it. And then people be in the comments, that shit was whack, garbage. No, that shit wasn't garbage. Like, if I'm bouncing my head to it as a producer, I know for a fact the artist, I know for a fact the listener is gonna bounce their head to it, and that's what matters at the end of the day. You got to make the music for the masses, not for, you know, singular people. But I mean, you know what it is, you know. But on that note, that's what it is. I don't want.
All right, Slim, I got one more, and then we'll wrap it up. Alberto wants to know how you feel about the feedback from a rapper while you're cooking up for them.
Oh my God. Well, luckily, when I'm in the studio vibing, when I'm making beats with these rappers, they want something I know what they want. I know, and so first what I do is I say, what kind of beats did y'all get on before? You know, I kind of feel what they have first, and I try to build around beats like that. You know, so they had that similar vibe, and they'll be like, oh, I want that. But sometimes, like, hopefully, I'm making beats, and I'm just looking behind my corner, like, man, what the fuck they gonna say? But every time I look back, they always bow their head, jump around. Sometimes they got. Half the time they high as fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they high as fuck. I mean, you could play an off note. They won't. They be like, oh, what's that? Hit that wrong key again. You know, they don't fucking know. But yeah, at first, when I first started out, I was always like, you know, I used to go to different people's houses, studio has to bring my laptop, make a beat for them. That's what I used to do. I used to be a traveling producer when I first started out. That's what got me my name in where my area, because I was traveling to produce rappers' houses, cooking up for them, you know, cooking up with them, you know, and it made people like, yeah, that dude come to you and fuck with you, yeah, and all that, you know, charge a premium for gas, but yeah, sometimes I be cooking up, sometimes like, I don't feel that, you know, it just you know, throw my whole vibe off myself, and I can't make nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I just learned to, you know, if they don't like it, they don't like it, you know, just keep going with it, keep doing it, you know, and whatever, it don't really matter, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, but if they're paying you, you know, you got to try to, you know, I know I'm rambling all over the place, but you got to try to, you know, bring it back and try to, you know, get them back into it, you know, try to switch it up, you know, try to help them out. Because at the end of the day, what the artist wants, what the artist going to get if they're paying you. It don't matter if you don't like making that style. It don't matter if you don't think that's right. If they're paying you, you got to give them what they want because they're paying you.
Personally, I like it. I like cooking up in front of people. I like cooking up in front of rappers. One, just because like y'all are gonna get used to the way I talk if you watch this shit. One because I'm fast. I'm very fast, and I'm not like, and I know like a lot of people are gonna assume like, oh, you're fast, so you're not good. No, you could be fast and good. It just comes from practice. Like I said, I make 2 a day, 7 days a week, just because I do it with the mentality of when I get into the studio, I've been training for this. I could do it. You know, you get into the studio and you play all your beats for Gunplay, and he says, I want to do something new, and he's got this much of the blunt left. You got to be able to finish a fucking slapper by the time he gets to here, because he's gonna want to take a sip of something to drink and then go and get on, you know. So right. I think that that one thing to take away from it, it might be a little annoying, but you know, you got to collaborate. You can't look down on an artist, you know, and just be like, oh, you're just a rapper. One, because that's just a messed up mentality. You know, making rap songs is it's half our responsibility and half their responsibility. You know what I mean? We're both bringing something to the table here, and you have to treat creative people with respect because they're super sensitive. You know, the second thing is when you do collaborate in that capacity and you do make something that they like, you need to then take that session. Okay, and this is something the Gasoline Greg in my chat taught me. You need to take that session and you need to study it, analyze it, and you need to build templates on it, because there's going to be certain things in that session that you did to evoke an emotion within that artist that you can replicate without being unoriginal, corny, or repetitive. And that's kind of the thing that you have to learn to balance, because you absolutely can use the same chord progressions, the same sounds, the same drums, you know, and continue to make stuff that they like. Like if you listen to any any album that has a single producer on it, there's sounds that pop up over and over and over again, you know.
But yeah, cause actually, I think it's an actual science to frequencies controlling people's emotion.
Absolutely. It's a science, and not only is it science, it's fucking magic, bro. Like it's spiritual. Like if you think about what we're doing, Slim and chat, like if you think about what we're really doing, we sat down in these chairs, okay, and we have an idea. And then we input information onto a screen, and then off of those shapes that we draw, the air in the room moves in a manner that creates sound. That's magic, bro. That is pure magic. So you gotta take that type of mysticism with you, and it's only going to elevate your perception to other people, you know.
That's why you listen to certain songs like that, you automatically start tapping your foot and bobbing your head and stuff like for no, you like, why am I liking this? This shit's garbage, but why am I feeling good in it? You know, it's like you said, it's a science, it's magic. It is what it is. It's something. It's a feeling. Music is a feeling above anything.
Yep.
If you can't feel the music, you ain't making music. That's how I see it.
That's the thing, man. I mean, just to add on that before we go, I mean, that's why like my personal process, I say that I'm fast, but I'll make I'll make at least 2 beats in a day, but I will in that session I'll delete 4. You know what I mean? Because if I get to a point where I get the loop and it's not, and it doesn't, if I'm just hearing stuff, if it doesn't make me feel angry, if it doesn't make me feel sad, if it doesn't make me feel excited, if it doesn't, make me feel like reminiscent of things, like you can't keep that. That's not good. But Slim, bro, I don't know what your chat's looking like. My chat, everybody is asking, is this going to be a regular thing? They want to know. They want to know if we're gonna come back for them.
Oh man, come on, man. Of course we are. We got to, because I say I like doing this type of thing. I love talking to you guys, and it's good to have another producer who sees, not only eye to eye, but actually has completely different views of both things. Talk of one view or whatever. I like that. And we're gonna turn it into a thing. This is gonna be it's gonna be the next biggest podcast.
Guarantee. We coming. We're gonna own. We're gonna come and we're gonna do some things. It's gonna be nice. Y'all
gonna love it. But yeah, like I said, this is the pilot episode for you guys. We're thankful for everybody who tuned in. Like I said, I had over 40 people come in. I'm thankful for you guys to take your time to come in and chill and relax and just get some good vibes and some information. I appreciate it. Even Craftmasters, all his chat over there. Shout out to y'all as well. I'm glad y'all came through as well. We appreciate all of you guys. We're going to continue doing this. And hey, if you ever got any things we should talk about, feel free to leave them in the comments and everything like that. So, it'll help us out as well. We want to build this into something.
Yeah. Yo, real quick. They just want to know, when you're collaborating and sending large files and whatnot, how do you personally do it? I do WeTransfer. You know what I mean? I just zip it and send it through WeTransfer, bounce the audio stem, 16-bit waves.
That's what I do. Sometimes most of them I use probably Dropbox. I got the business account.
Yeah, so the business the $45 a month business account.
Yeah, I know, but
it's worth it. I use it.
Oh no! I got the $10 one. No, I got the $10 one. It's like come like a terabyte, something like that. I zip it up, put it in there. You need a link, copy the link, send it to them. Y'all download it. All right, go delete it. That's why I do. But that's the best way to do it. You can do Google Drive, you can do WeTransfer, Mega Upload, whatever you gotta do. Just zip it up. Track outs, zip it up, send it. Don't send FLPs because you can't goddamn open them.
No, don't do that.
Hey, I hate when people do it. Hey, I want to collab with you, bro. Here go the FLP. What the fuck I'm gonna do with that if I ain't got your sounds?
Yeah, the new industry one is Box, not Dropbox, just Box. That's the
Box.
Yeah. No, the reason why people like Box is because you can see if somebody opened the shit that you shared.
Ooh, I ain't
so
like
yeah. So if you go to share a session with somebody and they spend 2 days and they don't look at it, you know that they're playing with you and you can move on to the other one. That's why a lot of collaborators are using Box. You go on www.box.com and you can set that up too. And if you wind up with working with somebody cool in the studio and they're like, oh, you know about Box? Oh, okay, you know what you're doing.
I got you. Somebody said it's goddamn Google Drive. Nah, Google Drive ain't good. It'll give you like 20 gigs. They ain't gonna be. You'll fill it up in a day.
Yeah. Google Drive. It's all right, but
But yeah, if y'all got any little quick questions, y'all throw them in. Somebody asked me about my HD 280s. Yeah, these are the HD 280s. He got the DT 770s, like I said, and I want them bitches.
Yeah, you gotta get them.
I want them. I was gonna buy some yesterday, but I decided to go with the microphone instead.
Yeah, I thought I left them in the hotel, and I seen they make a black one. I almost bought it. It was like $200, man.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm gonna hop off. I need to I need to cook, man. I gotta make some of these reggaeton beats, bro.
Yeah, I need fucking cook for the fam. I hear them beating them. I hear them coming.
Oh,
You
better feed those hungry people, bro. To
I
turn
gotta
into zombies.
feed my damn son. I ate all day. I've been in the studio cooking up, so that's time to go eat.
All right, y'all.
Oh, you close. You go first.
I was like, anyway, we appreciate y'all, boys, man. Keep it simple. Don't be basic.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for coming out, spending your time. You know, y'all didn't have to do this, but y'all came through. But y'all know we're gonna come back. We don't know it's scheduled just yet. Hopefully, when we do more, we'll probably get a schedule down for you guys. So you guys know when we're going live. So with that being said, y'all know who it is. It's your boy Different, not motivated by money, but like subscribe views. And I was joined with
Craftmaster Productions. Keep it simple. Don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace out, everybody.